Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Masters of the Universe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Walmart exclusive Masters of the Universe Masterverse Vintage Collection Zodac Cosmic Enforcer. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here it says 6 and up, 30 points of articulation on the top here. It says Masterverse, and that nice rocky explosion, and a little bit of the window right there that goes down to the front. And it tapers down until it hits where it says Vintage Collection. Also, the rock explosion follows the window down. And then it says Masters of the Universe Zodac Cosmic Enforcer. Mattel, and on this side you see more rocks, and there's a moon, and there's a moon on this side, and there's some more rocks, and there's all kinds of lightning explosion effects going on here. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in Vietnam print, symbols I'm not going to learn, a question mark, contents, one figure and accessories, some numbers I'm not going to learn, except for that one's the assortment number, and a barcode. And then finally on the back, let's raise the camera up a little bit. Zodac attacks the heroic warriors using all the evil power at his command. Because originally, Zodac was a bad guy. And in fact, he wasn't just Cosmic Enforcer. Originally, he was the evil Cosmic Enforcer. But, however, they did change him. But here's nice artwork. And I don't know if this is classic artwork or if it's just meant to feel like that or look like that. And if that's the case, it really does, you know, give me that classic Masters of the Universe artwork feel. Masters of the Universe 7-inch action figures. You can collect them all, each sold separately. Battle with a laser pistol, armed with cosmic energy shield, Zodac Cosmic Enforcer. Colors and decorations may vary. Mattel, empowering generations through play. In 1982, Masters of the Universe took the world by storm with action figures that captured the imaginations of people from here to Eternia. Today, the Masterverse celebrates the original designs as modern 7-inch scale action figures with the Vintage Collection. And even this is very classic Masters of the Universe packaging artwork feel, you know, and not just necessarily packaging, but just artwork for Masters of the Universe in general. But there you have it, my friends. There's a look at the packaging. Well, let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And first up, we'll take a look at the accessories. And here we have Handy Dandy Tweezers. Helps take a look at said accessories. First up, he does have 3 extra hands, 1 set, and then an odd one. And here's the odd one. It's on an in and out hinge. Nice molded details. And then there's a new part for it. I think we may have seen this hand before, but there's a new part for it. It does have a port in it. So that's cool. And I'll show you what that's for in a minute, if you hadn't already figured it out. So here is one of his other hands, and again you can see he's kind of clawy, got some clawed hands there, in and out. It's kind of a reaching to grab hand. Come here. And again, did I say in and out hand? I probably did, but I said it again, so there we go. And then the last one we have is a fist, and I don't believe this is anything new. I think we have seen this particular piece before. It's in and out hinge, and again, nice molded details. So next up, Here we have his intergalactic pistol, or whatever you'd like to call it. And it's very, very reminiscent of the original, like it should be, since this is a vintage collection figure. And it does have a couple of paint apps on it. It looks like it's molded in a red plastic, and then it's got a gunmetal band from here to here. And then this piece is gunmetal. This stripe is gunmetal. The trigger is gunmetal. And then this piece on the back is gunmetal, as well as this other stripe on this side. So, oh, and around the barrel. I just noticed that. This gun has a port in it, so I'm sure you can figure out what that's for as well. And then here we have his blast effect. Nice translucent-y kind of play. Well, I'll say it's translucent-y. It is a little bit, not very much though. So, but it is a nice little blast effect. It's always nice to get Masters of the Universe blast effect. Here's another kind of blast effect, or a magic effect. And nice molded details in it. This one is a translucent plastic, kind of a very light blue maybe. I'm colorblind, so please don't make fun of handicapped people. You can see it's got a long post on it there. And I don't know if this fits in the gun. Oh, it does. How about that? So that can go in the gun, but it's really for this hand with the port in it, and it just goes in there. And then I forgot to say if this piece will fit in his hand. Let's see. Oh, look at that. He can also blast out of his hand. So that's cool. It is a little bit loose, and the shield piece was a little bit, or the magic effect was a little bit tight in the gun barrel. But this is a little tight in the gun barrel too, so but there's how that's supposed to work. Now let's take a look at the figure himself. Let's bring him in here, raise the camera up just a little bit. So here we have it, and you know, overall I have to say it's very classic in coloration and just design. And one thing that looks to be new is these are his goggle pieces here are clear, translucent, well, clear and translucent. Anyway, they're glued on top of like black where his eyes would be inside the helmet. So that's a nice little touch, I think. And then, you know, it looks like red maybe is the paint color for here, and it's molded in this color. And then the opposite for the armor, it's molded in the red, and this is a paint app. And then three little paint apps there. And you can see it's quite a hairy body, like the original was Stratos, Beastman, those dudes. And it looks like there's a little bit, maybe a wash on there too, but I could be mistaken. This is molded in color, this is molded in color, and it's a, you know, rubbery overlay like most of the Masterverse stuff. And then we've got some paint apps up here and here on the opposite side as well. And again, it looks like there may be some kind of wash in there on it. So that's cool. And then I believe we've seen these feet on the Skeletor before. So there's that. You know, trigger finger hand, gripping hand, and then nice molded details in here and on the feet. And, you know, just all over. I mean, of course these parts are reused. I think this is all reused too from a Skeletor. Probably all of this as well. Maybe not the trigger finger hand, but it's probably from somewhere. But yeah, these arms are definitely, at least this part to this part is Skeletor, and then this will be like a Stratos or a Beastman or something. Not that they've done the vintage collection for those yet. It's coming though, I can guarantee you. Because we got Faker coming soon. Let's take a look at his articulation. He can look up that far. He looks down that far. He can chicken neck. He can waggle. He can do the full exorcist. And like most Masterverse, he's on a dumbbell in there. No butterfly on the shoulder. It does rotate 360 degrees though. And approximately a 90-degree bend there. 360 degrees at this upper bicep cut. Double hinged pinless elbow. And it seems like it'll give you that much bend, although I think that'll bend a little more by itself. Yeah, there we go. But then, you know, the fin part kind of blocks it up. So you get about the same amount of bend either way. 360 degrees of rotation at the wrist. And it's got some detents in there. And then on an in and out hinge. And then in and out hinge on the trigger finger hand as well. There's a cut here where the chest and the abdomen meet. But because of the armor, you don't really get anything out of it. As far as hula. At least. Well, maybe. So he'll lean this way some. He'll lean this way some. It will rotate. I'm not going to make it rotate because of the armor. But it will allow him to lean back that far. And forward about that far. Straight cut at the waist for 360 degrees of rotation. And pull down hinge at the hips. And he will give you the full splits. And he will kick forward about 90 degrees. And back about one of his foot lengths, maybe a little more than that. And that was with the pull down hinge engaged. Cut at the upper thigh for 360 degrees of rotation. At the knee gives you that much bend, so that's really good. Double hinged pinless knee, by the way, since I didn't mention that. So cut here at the shin, a boot cut, if you will. 360 degrees of rotation there. Ankle tilts down that far. Tilts up that far. And, well, it's not quite forward facing. But there is a pin in there for rocker. Maybe it is forward facing. And then as far as storage goes, of course, you know, he doesn't really have storage. So, but in order to use the magic effect, you swap the hand out. And port the post back in. And then no holster for the pistol either, so he has to hold that in his hand. So there you go, my friends. There's a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Walmart exclusive Masters of the Universe Masterverse Vintage Collection Zodac with the Masters of the Universe Masterverse New Eternia Zodac and the Walmart exclusive Masters of the Universe Masterverse Vintage Collection Skeletor. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Walmart exclusive Masters of the Universe Masterverse Vintage Collection Zodac, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance Stan the Man Lee from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander from Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Walmart exclusive Masters of the Universe Masterverse Vintage Collection Zodac, I have to say it is refreshing to see the character taken back to his roots as the evil cosmic enforcer, which originally he was a bad guy until, of course, Filmation decided he was just a kind of a neutral, almost neutral observer of cosmic phenomena. And, you know, that's okay too. And that's the version of the character that really stuck. But again, originally, you know, he was supposed to be a bad guy. Skeletor had him a spaceman. And I'm glad to kind of see that they did do that with this vintage-inspired version of the character. Because that's, you know, I mean, it's cool to go back to his roots. I like the design of this guy. He looks very, very classic. And, you know, it's... The new Eternio one was close, but this one is much closer. And I do think it's a very nice rendition of the character. I can't wait to see the Faker so that we can compare the Fakers and see which one, you know, kind of stands out. At least to me. I like the accessories, you know, the blast effect. It's always cool to get a blast effect. And he has his, you know, classic laser gun, and then like the magic effect that ports into his hand. That's just icing on the cake. Because, yeah, now, although the original figure didn't come with that, it's just a really cool piece. And I'm hoping maybe the skin tones match up on the other Zodac, the new Eternia Zodac, and maybe I can use that hand and this effect on that one too. That would be really cool. So, but yeah, overall, I really like this, and, you know, it's definitely, you know, a classic take with the modern articulation and the modern paint hits. Not that there's a lot of paint hits on this guy, but, and then just like the clear pieces for the goggles, just, you know, that's just awesome. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.